So, Sander, we're here at Slush, Sander Verbrugge, partner at the NATO Innovation Fund, and I think you joined about 3 months ago.
Correct.
Very exciting to have you on stage with us on the kind of where we kind of revealed the European Deep Tech report, at least a preview. We shared some numbers. How does that, align with what you're seeing in the market?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. I think they represent what we're all seeing, and it was the outcome of the panel as well. So, deep tech is doing well. I think it's showing and becoming a really stable investment scene with good amounts of venture capital going in. I think we all feel there should be more and there can be more. So let's hope for that natural growth that can be there. On the resilience side, which is specifically applicable for the NATO Innovation Fund, it's good. It's clearly showing a lot of growth, really a lot of growth. So let's hope that stays there, because we at the NATO Innovation Fund feel strongly that more capital should go into this space. Taking a look into the future and the pledges of the Allied Nations, you see 200 billion in 2029 additional investments into armed forces. And I think we should all take it upon us to make sure a significant share of that goes into innovative products out of innovative startups that really drive the ecosystem and really make sure that we have a strong deterrence out of innovative products. So the market will be there. It is already there. It will be even larger in a few years from now. So let's make sure we invest properly to make sure the growth of the companies is there and we actually deliver on the capability needs of our defense forces.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying the market is there. That seems true from a high level, but then you also hear like, yeah, actually the buyer is, not the same kind of buyer that we're used to,
Yeah.
in other software industries.
Yeah.
So are they actually also buying?
Yeah, that's a fair question. And let me first take a slightly different perspective. I think if you want to work with big companies, either being large incumbent semiconductor companies or the big FANG companies, they are their own entities. And typically they get to tell how startups behave unless you have something completely disruptive, and then you can start working your own. So I think going into traditional large industries is always hard for a startup. Looking more closely at defense, I agree. I think the defense industry, especially in Europe, has gone from 20, 30 years of budget cuts and procuring with large primes and settling on that, and even looking for more potential budget cuts. They went into a mode that is not really open for novel startups. Having said that, in the past 2 years, when I was at my previous fund, but also at the NATO Innovation Fund, we all see and we all feel that they're opening up quickly. Their budgets are definitely increasing. We are seeing the first test beds, acquisition, purchases of novel technologies, but also first larger orders, millions, tens of millions of actual defensive kit that is being procured from startups as well. So that's what I meant when I said the market is already there. Is it a billion market for novel technology of novel startups? Not yet, but it's definitely ramping up really quickly, and I do expect it to get there within the coming years, actually. So the chance to enter is now, if you become credible, and let's all see how we help these companies to get there.
Yeah. Are their procurement processes also maybe adapting? Because I could imagine they're also seeing that like the battlefield is changing, and
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
do they maybe set up units to specifically look at new innovations, or what are you seeing there?
Yeah, on the innovations in the battlefield, there's definitely a lot going on there, and what we see is a significant increase into the iterations of our product. So it's a continuous innovative warfare of measures and countermeasures of all the kit that is being used to make the difference. So I think that's the core thing, and the type of company that's really well suited to deliver on that are actually startups, because they're agile, they can work with the customers closely, and they can steer the whole company from 90 degrees turn really easily. If we then look at the procurement of the more traditional MODs throughout Europe, as said, they come from a place where it was really hard for them to be innovative. So I don't think there's any malintent there, but they are shifting gears. And they are doing new things like the Rapid Action Adoption Plan by NATO, which is making procurement a lot easier and therefore making it a lot easier for innovative startups to move there. But I also see it in a lot of individual countries at MOD level. They are reaching out there. They're getting people co-installed in all the technology hubs to work with them, to see what is out there, start scouting, working with the companies, and really soaking all that ecosystem knowledge and drive and energy back into the MODs and driving change there as well. But as it's a mature industry, there is still a gap there, and they still need to work on speaking the same language. But that's happening quickly, so I'm positive. We're not there yet.
Yeah. No, and I guess usually when a product, gets used, there are bugs,
This happens, yeah.
and so there has to be also some feedback cycle and some patience there.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Has there already been some experience around that, as far as you can see?
Naturally, we have multiple companies engaging with MODs and delivering there and selling their products, and there's continuous demand for innovative solutions, and especially if it's battlefield applied, then there's continuous demand on improvements or repurposing the actual platform that is being applied. And the moment that an MOD or a battalion indicates these type of wishes, a startup can react to that really quickly and make sure that it actually happens.
Yeah.
Does everything go right the first time? No, I don't think it does. But that's exactly what we see in modern warfare. This iteration needs to be there quickly. The company needs to adjust quickly, improve quickly, and then it will actually deliver on the needs of the customer.
Yep. Understood. Okay, so you mentioned on stage, by the way, something around dual use. You don't
Yeah.
really love the term.
Yeah.
Can you explain why is that?
Yeah, let me first say, we use the term dual
Yeah.
use a lot, but it kind of singles out the defense industry a little bit, which I don't like. I think it's just a mature industry that, just like all other mature industries, should be treated as a potential for every startup to sell into. We will always invest in companies that have, next to focusing on the defense industry, have at least one other industry that they're able to sell in with their, so we are a dual use investor. However, I would love to say just we're looking for companies that are resilient because they can actually invest in different industries, one of them being the defense industry. So that's why I would love to reterm the dual use term and more having it about applying the technology into the right spaces and making defense industry just one of all the other industries that are out there.
Understood. Okay. What are some areas within kind of defense, security, and resilience maybe that you are spending more time on or are particularly excited about?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I like that. So within our partner group, we definitely have fields of focus because you need to, I think Suzanne alluded to that at the podium. It's good to have a fund with people that have networks in the industries that you're focusing on. So my background is in semiconductors. I've been a deep tech investor focused on the future of compute for many years. So I'll definitely be taking that part into the NATO Innovation Fund. We have a strong partner that knows a lot about the defense space. He's passionate about that. He will work it. We have recently Erin joined the team. She's really good in energy resilience, which I think is crucial for especially for Europe. Supply chain resilience, we're still working on getting more expertise into the team, but we also have a strong associate team with space tech experience, with biotech experience, another future of compute and materials experience. So we're trying to, all the key areas where we feel strongly that Europe can do well and really improve the resilience of all the allied nations together. We're trying to have people there that can move the needle and make the difference. But for me, it will be future of compute, semiconductors, which I think is something where Europe can really improve.
Yeah. Do you have maybe some examples of technologies or companies that?
Yeah, so I'm really passionate about photonic computing. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot to be done there in the convolutional domain because light is perfectly fitted for
Yeah.
that. And there's a lot of compute upcoming, like homomorphic encryption, that could make use of that.
Yeah.
Quantum computing is hard to invest in, to be honest, but I think it's something that Europe is really strong at, so that's something I feel passionate about as well.
And how do those domains fit into the defense domain?
So here it becomes, so we do defense, security,
Yeah,
and
and
resilience. This
yeah,
is more
yes,
the
this
resilience
is-
part. It's longer term economic growth, but it's also, if you don't have the compute power,
Yeah.
you're gonna fall behind. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
Especially in quantum, that has an encryption angle to it as well.
Totally.
But all types of compute have an attack factor, and if you don't have the right capabilities, you can't deliver the defensive factor to it as well. So for me, on the long term, we can't lose out on compute capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I think I heard someone else say that's kind of like AI is in the battlefield today, and I guess you know it goes to a lot of innovations that are happening now are a bit like radar in the Second World War, and like there are
Yeah.
these, and so yeah, things that maybe don't seem directly to you know be like applied in the battlefield are so critical in the
Yeah.
background, and that's actually where battles are won
Yeah.
in some sense at least.
Yeah.
Is that how you look at it?
Yeah, so I'm not an AI expert. I think it can do even more than I think it can. It clearly also has drawbacks at the moment, so it can't do everything at the moment. I think what we need to be very careful is, and we have a responsible use function within our due diligence as well, that a human in the loop is still the standard for everything that
Yeah.
we have as defensive systems. In the future, that might change. We'll see, because things are changing, and we need to stay agile towards that, also as a fund. But for now, this is a core. I do feel there's many innovative fields where we need to focus on, like communications. There's a lot of jamming going on in the battlefield, and if you want to have control over the entities that you have unmanned out there, you need to be able to communicate to them. And that's where AI comes into play as well. AI, of course, can make sure that there's some autonomy in the device, but you always want communication at there as well if you want the human in the loop aspect to it. So AI is definitely an important element of future warfare, and we see it applied more and more. But it's going to grow into it. It will not be a massive disruption, changing everything in one go.
Yeah.
Just like radar improved over time and got more and more applications, AI will do that as well. But it's clearly becoming a strong element of everything that is being applied.
Makes
Cool.
sense. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for
My pleasure.
your time, and I hope you have an amazing slush.
We will. I'm looking forward to it. It's just the beginning, so it's going to be amazing. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Thank you.